All right, if you are joining us, then you are in the right spot. It is Thursday. You guys already know what time it is. It's time for the Locker Room Show, and we got an amazing show set up for you tonight. This is one that I've been waiting for a while because the gentleman that you see in the middle of the screen is somebody that I know since he was 17 years old, dear friend of mine, former teammate, but we'll get into that in a second. We got a great show for you. First, I want to introduce the gentleman that always holds me down in the secondary, my brother from another mother, my boy from St. Louis, and that is none other than Q, the Guru. What's going on, Playmaker?
Man, I'm good, Coach. I'm good, man. How you feeling this week, man? We gotta go.
Hey man,
As usual, we gotta
as
go.
usual,
We,
as usual,
we
we're
gotta be
back,
fair, man.
and I'm excited to hear your comments too on a couple of topics. You
Oh
guys
yeah.
know we're getting into the divisional playoffs, and we're going to determine this weekend who's going to the Super Bowl. So this
Woo.
is a big time, you guys, in the football entertainment industry. But let's get into the show. We don't want to waste no time. Like I said, the gentleman in the middle of the screen is someone that I look at as a brother. This is someone that I am tremendously proud of. He held me down. He held my teammates down. He made an amazing life for himself and for his family. He is a two-time Super Bowl champion, Mackey Award winner. And for those that don't know, that's the top tight end in the country, the best tight end in the country, and then went on to have a successful 10-year NFL career. And that is none other than my brother, Mr. Daniel Graham. How's it going, DG?
Hey man, everything's good. I appreciate you having me on here, man. I'm excited to be
Doubt.
here.
No doubt, man. And
Yeah.
I see the Tom Brady jersey behind you. And this man played for the Patriots. Amazing career, like I said, and extremely blessed, you guys, to have DG take some time away from his family and join us tonight. So let's get right into it. If you're joining us for the first time, the Locker Room Show, you guys, is where we bring in people from the industry, not people that just think they know football, but people who have lived football, who have breathed football. They've spread a little blood, sweat, and tears on the field, and that's who we bring into the Locker Room Show to bring you guys the truth. And we cover the trending topics and the things that are important to you. So let's get right into it, you guys. And this first topic is a big one because we got you on, DG, and a lot of people don't know, man, that you're a legacy athlete. You know, you played under your dad. I don't know if he ever coached you, but obviously his tutelage, former NFL player, the great Tom Brown. This is somebody, Tom Graham, excuse me, this is somebody that I knew personally, somebody that always invited me into his house with welcome arms. So talk to me a little bit, man, because there might be some other athletes that are going through the same thing. I know Arch Manning comes from the Manning family. You got Ryan Clark's son. A lot of these guys
Yeah.
following in
Long
their
list.
parents,
Yeah.
their
Certain.
parents' footsteps.
Yeah.
Did you ever feel growing up that pressure or feel like you had to go the football route because of pops?
You know I didn't, man, and I want to say my dad, rest in peace, was ahead of his
Peace.
time because my dad, didn't let me and when I speak, I say me and my twin. So when I say he didn't let us play football until we were in high school, and so just because
Man.
he didn't want to, he knew about the head trauma, head stuff going on, and so growing up for me, I always played basketball and baseball from
Mm-hmm.
first grade all the way through high school and stuff. And so for me, football really was never a dream of mine. My dad
Mm.
supported me in basketball and baseball. A lot of people don't know my dad was drafted right out of high school to play baseball for the Dodgers. So I think he was really leaning towards that route for me and stuff. But he was always supportive of what I did. And once we did start playing in high school and stuff, I mean, he was all on board.
Definitely. And when you guys said this is it, did you see his passion go into overdrive, or did he still kind of stay in the background a little bit?
My dad stayed in the background, which I can appreciate now because I just know sometimes the pressure, if a father played at the highest level, it might be pressure, for that student coming up or that athlete coming up, and we had a great high school coach who my dad just gave the reins to, Oliver Lucas, who was the running back coach at Colorado when they won the national championship.
Mm.
So my dad he knew that we had someone in good hands who was going to teach us how to play football, teach us the ropes. So he really sat back and let my coach do his thing.
That's big time
That's
right there.
crazy.
And for you young athletes out there that are listening and maybe a legacy athlete, take it from Dan. His dad let him choose his route. So it
Yeah.
really meant something when he did say, I'm going the football route. So you guys keep that in mind. We're on to our next topic, you guys. And obviously I got a buff in here with me. And if you guys don't know, former Colorado Buffalo Big 12 champion. Both of us came in the same class, 1997. Not going to date us too much, but won a championship with this gentleman. So we're talking some prime time. Some prime time. We've been down in the dumps a little bit, and now finally we dusting ourselves off, DG, and we got a recruiter in the house. We got prime time, and he's racking up, you guys. 5-star, 4-star recruits are finally starting to pay attention to CU. And I'll throw it to you, Q. I mean, obviously, we know this man from our time,
Right.
but what do you think makes today's athlete connect with Coach Prime?
I mean, Prime, he just means always had that swag, and it transcends, man, regardless of when, he was younger, even all the way back to the Falcons, all the way up to now. And like like you and I have said, Prime is always understood about how to market yourself as an athlete. That is the name of the game now. He was doing that fresh out of Florida State under Coach Bowden. As soon as he, got, drafted to the Falcons, immediately, he was marketing himself, and at that particular time, they thought it was, is this, flashy, loudmouth Deion, but he was marketing himself. They just didn't understand. Now, because he's mastered that over the years, he's helping these kids do the same exact thing.
Big time right there. And DG, you've had a chance to meet this man. You probably played against him too, but you've had a chance to meet him now as Coach Prime for the CU Buffs. What was your initial opinion? And are you thumbs up with the hire?
I met him real quick, and I say real quick, it was real quick. I mean, he was down to business, the time that I, was up at CU and stuff. But I mean, this is a great pick. We couldn't get a better coach, to come in and resurrect this program. And, like everybody else, I've been following, watching the videos and stuff, getting hyped up, ready for this exciting season that's coming along. But the one thing that I've appreciated the most about Coach Prime and what he is doing up there and what he's saying and doing for these young men is that his biggest concern is the 95% of those who aren't making it to the NFL. And he's there to coach those guys and just get them ready for, life after college, because not everyone is going to the NFL. So, you know, for student athletes to hear that there is a big chance that you may not be able to go to the NFL. Student athletes need to hear that, and so this also allows them to, for one, be that student first, take care of your books in the classroom, and if you are fortunate enough to make it to the next level, that's great. But if not, you have something to fall on, and you're not really just wasting away, the 4 or 5 years in college.
So you feel like it's genuine. It's not all glitz and glamour. He really cares about these student athletes.
Oh, he truly cares about these student athletes, and I've heard from a friend of mine who took over at the Jackson State, the head coaching job, TC Taylor.
Yeah.
He told me that he truly cares about these student athletes, and he's putting them, above any and everybody up there.
That's big time right there, you guys. And obviously, Coach Prime is going to be judged on the field. You guys know it's wins and losses. There's millions of dollars being tossed around. But from all indications, and once again, I'm an alum too, things are going well and people are happy and satisfied with Coach Prime. So we'll keep our ear to the ground with how that develops. If you're just joining us, thank you for joining us. We are indeed live we got the great two-time Super Bowl champ Daniel Graham, first-round draft pick of the New England Patriots in 2002, and then went on to have a great career in the NFL. So thank you for having him. I see some of our usuals jumping in. We're in here. We got the great Jimmy Rucker, says John Mackey
Big
winner.
Jimmy.
Definitely. We got a Mackey Award winner. We got Coach Foss that says, here we go. And then my mother-in-law, who always jumps on in the locker room and says her piece, she says, hi from Denver, excited about the show. So thank you guys, as always, for joining us. Whether you're joining live or recorded, we appreciate you. So let's go on to our next topic, you guys. And this one is a big one, fellas. And I'm definitely excited and intrigued to hear your opinion on this, because unfortunately, and this one kind of hits home again, DG, but former Buffalo and NFL player, the great Charles Johnson, passed away not too long ago. But, you know, they do the autopsy, and his passing was indeed, you guys, unfortunately considered a suicide. So, you know, when we look at some of these unfortunate happenings, you know, this isn't the first one. And this isn't even the first one for the Buffaloes, as you've seen Rashaan Salam here. So I want to swing it to you, Q. When we talk about athletes, these gladiators, these new age gladiators that go out in front of thousands of fans on the weekend and try to come home, you know, not on their shield. Why is it so difficult for some of these guys to speak up when they need help?
Because of what you just said, Coach. We gladiators, man. You have to be. People need to understand. You got to be built different to play this game, especially on the D1 level, and even more so, you know, on the professional level. Um, you know, the what you're able to take mentally and physically is not what the average person can even really fathom. So that being said, it's that much harder to ask for help, because you think you're so used to working through everything mentally, or figuring out a way mentally, or figuring out a way physically to work through everything else. A lot of times when it comes to mental health, it's just something, this a a typical obstacle that you need to work through, not really understanding that you really need help.
That's a good point right there. And DG, I mean, man, you've had a successful career from the outside looking in, but a lot of people don't see some of those dark moments, maybe even after your career. And this is the locker room where we got a lot of athletes listening, parents, coaches. Was it ever hard for you to get out of some tough moments? And do you think that this is a trend that's going to continue to happen where guys may commit suicide?
You know, it's unfortunate, where we are now just in society, just with the mental health issue. And this is why it's so important, that we all just reach out to your friends, your loved ones, brothers, just to check up on them, see what's going on.
Mhm.
I didn't know Charles Johnson personally, but this is fourth or fifth Colorado Buffalo that has committed suicide, and it's a tragedy. And this is why the University of Colorado, some former players have just stepped up and started a program just to help former buffs in need with just mental health. And like I said, you don't know what anybody is going through, and it might look green on the outside, but that's why it's important just to reach out to your friends or something, see how they're doing, see what's going on and stuff. And it's just a sad situation, when this news came out for the Buff Nation and stuff. And it's just something that we really need to watch and look at with this mental health right now.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's well said, gentlemen. And for you young athletes listening, and I see the great Coach John Hughes joining in, and he says this thing is for everybody. Men in a whole are not taught to show emotion, even
Facts.
if it costs us our mental health. That's what society has taught men. So, especially football players in particular. So, you guys, get the help. Speak up. There's people who love you. There's people who care for you. There's people that don't want to see you go this route. So if you play on a team, if you got friends, check up on them. Like DG said, like Q said, check up on them, make sure they're all right, because we don't want this anymore. So you guys, that's great feedback right there, and thank you. I see Coach Foss weighing in. Definitely, Jimmy. Heart wrenching. Yep. So you guys are dead on. We don't want to see anybody go this route. So thank you guys for sharing on that. We're on to our next topic, and obviously this is a little bit of a lighter subject, but this is an example, you guys, of how we're going to touch everything in the locker room, because it's going on. It's going on. And if it's important to you guys, it's important to us. So we're going on to our next topic. And this was in doing some research for this show. This was a good one to see. And homegrown legends. Homegrown legends, Colorado's greatest products, right here on the page. Got some amazing people. We got Philip Lindsay. We got the great McCaffrey. We've got Calais Campbell. So there's been some dogs that have come out of Colorado. The Hall of Famer, Tony Baselli.
Tony Baselli,
and then, of course, our very own Daniel Graham. So talk to us, DG, when you think back to some of the greats. Now, we can't say yourself, but when you think back to some of the greats that have come out of Colorado, give us three that you would say are at the top of your list.
Okay, so when you sent me the list of questions, I looked it over, and you said for those who were born in Colorado. Now I'm like, okay, T Wood, I wasn't born in Colorado, so that's what I may not be on the born from Colorado list.
They're claiming you.
As far as homegrown, no, this is my, I was raised here, and so I'm gonna ask you guys: are we talking just football?
Just football.
Yeah,
okay.
I know we got Chauncey Billups and somebody.
Okay. Okay. So just football. And the names I'm gonna say for first and foremost, Dave Logan. People may not know who he is, but Dave Logan went to CU. He played football, basketball, ran track. I think maybe played. But he's from here, and I mean he's the top. He's the top of the list. He's a now coach here at Cherry Creek High School. He's won 4 or 5 state championships in a row.
I heard of Cherry Creek.
Yeah,
I definitely heard of Cherry Creek.
Yeah, but he's number one on my list. The next two homegrown, I'm gonna have to put Christian McCaffrey on that list. I mean, he's doing his thing, man.
Yeah, man.
And I mean, from high school to college, now in the pros, he's doing his thing. And I think for that last one, man, I got to ride with Philip Lindsay, man. Although Calais Campbell, he deserves to be on this list. But what Philip Lindsay went through, what he did, he is the only University of Colorado running back to rush for 1,000 yards back-to-back seasons. I believe that's true.
Okay.
He wasn't really highly recruited out of high school, and then for him to get undrafted to the Denver Broncos and make the Pro Bowl, as a rookie, he came in and did his thing. I got to give a shout out to Philip Lindsay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's real talk right there.
But Calais does deserve to be on that list.
Yeah. Then you got Big Bo too now.
We got a list.
You got Big Bo Skate too now.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, they got some boys, and then like I said, Baselli, that's another one. USC great, and obviously Jacksonville Jaguar. I think they're first round, first ever pick. At Jacksonville. So that's big right there. So I wanted to get that feedback. We are on to our next topic, you guys. And this is one, Q, I'm going to throw at you first, because I know you had a time when the ladies love to come by Q's dorm and do your thing. But unfortunately, we've had some trouble out of GA, out of Georgia. It's not all about championship rings and trophies in Georgia. Young man, unfortunately, was arrested after fighting with his girlfriend over Instagram. He didn't like somebody she was following. Q. So this looks like this guy Rara Thomas just got to Georgia too, because he was at Mississippi State and came through the transfer portal. So now he is in his jumpsuit orange over Instagram. But I wanted to ask you guys, and I'll start with you, Q. What's your opinion on girlfriends and college athletes, boyfriends and college athletes? Do you think guys should be going that route? What's your opinions? What's your advice?
I would tell. For me personally, I'll tell the majority of athletes, like, it's because it's not bad about having any relationships, but anything of any type of serious nature to this extent, I would definitely say no. So I wouldn't say you shouldn't have a girlfriend in college, okay?
Okay.
But it's about that can't be your focus, and whoever you're dating, they have to understand that they can't be the majority of your focus, because you're here on business.
Okay.
Books and football, whatever sport you do, that is your primary focus, because it has to be. So
Okay.
you're there, you can have a relationship, okay, but that person just has to understand how, what you're there for, because that you're not there, man, just for relate. You're not a regular person. You're not there just, as a regular student, man. A lot is riding on what you're doing, and again, it's pure business. Pure business.
DG, what would you say about girlfriends in college? I know I was at some of the parties and extravagant things that we did, and we didn't marry a lot of the girlfriends that we were around, the young ladies. What's your opinion about girlfriends in college? You were an All-American. Did the two go together? Is it like Q? It's got to be the right person. What's your opinion?
It's unfortunate, sad situation just to hear about that, fella. I don't know the story right there, so I'm not gonna speak on that. But in my opinion, if you find the right woman, there's nothing wrong with having a relationship. I mean,
Mm,
my parents met each other at college, and they were
Okay.
together forever until my dad passed away. And so you can find the right person in college that might is the right person for you. And so I'm not against it, but there is no excuse at all for any domestic violence or anything. A man should never put his hands on a woman. And even if the woman hits you, you got to be a man and stand and just walk away, because for one, being a student athlete, you have more to lose than that your girlfriend does. So
absolutely.
um, unfortunately, I mean, people deal with situations and issues, and this is part of growing up in college, learning how to become a man and walking away from issues. Because, regardless of a woman or someone else, it's going to be issues that you're going to have to walk away from in life growing up, and this is a great place to start to learn how to do that.
That's a great point right there. We got the great John Hughes say, pick your girlfriend wisely. The person you date should be a help, not a distraction. And Coach Fall says all about priorities. Q, let's say you got a young man in your home, your son. He's balling out at Kansas, your alma mater. He's got a future ahead of him. Now he's calling you up saying, Dad, I got a girl I like. Is there anything you're checking on to have his back when you meet this young lady?
No, again, just kind of just giving him some tips, in regards to, again, reminding him, hey, just like, Eric Foss is, speaking now. It's all about priorities. Again, it's not about you not being able to find a great person. Some people do find their perfect match in college, and it works out that way, and that's great. But again, it can't be where it's diverting too much of your focus off of your classwork and off of the field, because that's when your life is gonna start going left, because of that distraction. So yeah, the person has to be a help, and not a distraction.
So if you see him sliding down the depth chart, you
Man,
kind of
hey, man, she got to go, man. She gotta
okay,
go.
okay, okay. So and ladies, if there happens to
Yeah,
be ladies
yeah,
that are
absolutely,
athletes, this goes
absolutely.
for you too. If this cat is not a help, he's a hindrance. Your jump shot is going off
Right.
to the left. then you got to
You
get
gotta
out that
go, right?
situation.
But see, the
So,
thing is, coach, the thing is about it though, guys, is the hard part now with these athletes is when you're getting these NIL deals, now you have more of the, you know, especially if you're a guy, you have more of the opposite sex coming at you because yeah, you play ball, but now it's like these NIL deals. Well, people a lot of times if there's a nice size deal, people know what you made. You know, they know. So it's like that's making things even that much more difficult.
Yeah. No, and I know we've talked offline about prime time and his boys and how he's probably looking over their shoulder a little bit because
Security, T. We need security.
You can't just come in the family without vetting you.
Nah, man.
So
you need security.
We are on to our next topic, you guys, and thank you for joining us. We are live. We got the great Dan Graham. This is a dear friend of mine, a brother of mine, somebody that I watch go from the scout team to All-American and first-round draft picks. So definitely excited to have him on tonight. And we are on to one of our fan favorite parts of the show, and that part is the locker room, or excuse me, the lightning round. The lightning round. So very first time, this is a crowd favorite, an audience favorite of the locker room show. And in the lightning round, we put our guests through a series of questions. So tonight, obviously, our guest is the great Dan Graham. And you guys, he's got 60 seconds. 60 seconds to tell us what's on his mind. And this man has been through a lot. He's seen a lot. So he's going to let it fly tonight. Now, DG, we stayed together one summer up on the hill, brother. Up on the hill. And not everything was PG and PG-13 up on the hill. So we got to keep this PG-13 with your responses. But I know you'll do that for us. But the first thing that comes to your mind, and you got 60 seconds, brother, and I got my list here. We've got some people that I'm going to be asking you about. We've got some either or that we're going to be asking you about. So let me get my stopwatch ready. Now, we don't just do this for fun, DG. I know I've been to your house, so you got the boom boom room behind you, and it's looking lavish. But we got a dinner on the line. We got a dinner in a hotel stay on the line. Now, it's not a Robert Kraft dinner, but we're going to take care of you. So the number is 13. The number's 13. If you can tie or beat 13, you're in the mix. I got the stopwatch ready here. This is the year of the Buffalo. You see, we got prime, so we about to win this. DG, let's do this. We got our stopwatch. You ready to go, big dog?
Hey, let's go.
All right. Now you get one extra for a time delay, tech delay. So even 12 is good because you get one extra. So first thing that comes to your mind, and I'm not going to start until we give you the first one. All right. The lightning round, y'all. Number one. Bill Belichick. Go.
Great coach. Greatest coach.
Corey Dillon.
Awesome running back.
The best defensive player you played against.
Jason Taylor.
The Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Suck.
Thomas Jefferson Hyde.
Hey, man, we put some ballers out.
Favorite movie snack.
Peanut M&Ms.
Rick Neuheisel.
Great recruiter.
Hang glide or parachute.
Parachute.
Place in Colorado every tourist should go.
Winter Park.
50 seconds. Kevin Falk.
Oh, man. Underrated.
Bad Boys or Rush Hour?
Bad Boys.
Time. All right, let's add them up. Let's add them up. Now he gets one extra. He gets one extra. So we got Bill Belichick, greatest coach of all time. You got it right there. You got from somebody that played for him. Then we got Corey Dillon. We got best defensive player. We're going to go over that. He says Jason Taylor. Yeah, so that's 3. Thomas Jefferson, 4. We got Nebraska Cornhuskers of garbage, 5. We got favorites movie snack, 6. We got Rick Neuheisel, 7. We got the Parachute 8. We got Winter Park 9. We got Bad Boys 10. And we got Kevin Falk 11 with the extra one. 12. 12. He came up one short. I think the Winter Park stumped you a little bit. But let's revisit a couple of these, man. So you said you're doing the parachute over the hang glide, huh?
Hey, well, I've already done it twice. I
Okay.
went skydiving. Hey,
Oh,
one of
nah,
the
you see, yeah,
man, one of the
nah,
Extreme
funnest
DG.
things I've one of the
nah,
funnest
nah,
things I've ever done was going skydiving.
He said he did it twice, Q.
Yeah, hey, and took my mom too. She
twice.
loved it. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
you supposed to say, yeah, I did it. Period. He
And
said
then he's
twice.
going with the Bad Boys over the
Woo.
rush hour. And then you said to Jason Taylor, there's a lot of people, man, that you played against. What was it about JT that made him the best?
Man, Jason Taylor was so long and so quick. And,
Mm.
getting off the ball, he knew how to use his hands. And, a lot of people, on my scouting report, it was a hold. That was on the scouting report for me. I knew how to hold well without getting caught. But he was just so good at getting my hands off of him and stuff. And that he was always my toughest opponent.
And then you said Bill Belichick, greatest coach. What was it about Bill Belichick? I mean, obviously the record speaks for itself, but you've played for many coaches and successful too. You were with the Saints and Sean Payton. What was it about Bill that made him the best?
Well, let me just correct that real quick. It wasn't until my last year, year 12 for me, when I was with New Orleans, I really saw the significance of a head coach. That was the
Mm,
year Sean Payton was suspended, so he wasn't there
mm.
that year, and so
Okay, okay.
and that's when I really realized that not everybody's made to be a head coach, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just because you're a coordinator doesn't mean
I
that
mean,
okay
yeah,
you're also going to be a head coach.
that's true.
It
That's
takes a
true.
special guy to be a head coach, and Coach Belichick. When I say he had us down to our X's and O's, ready in preparation for a game. Practices were harder for us than it was than on Sunday. And when
Mm.
Sunday came around, we knew what everyone was going to do just because we were so prepared. And even with Tom Brady leaving, I mean, you see for all these years, just the Patriots are always in that running. And it's just
Yeah.
crazy if you look back at the last 20 years, even if someone else won a Super Bowl, the next year who was the favorite? And I
That's
know a
true.
lot of it was because of Brady there, but a lot of it also was because of Coach Belichick.
That's big
Facts.
right there. And you've been around a
Facts.
lot of Hall of Famers, coaches
Hmm.
and players. So that's big. We're on to our last segment of the show, you guys, and thank you for joining us. I know you're getting a lot out of tonight. I see some people already in the comment sections there. Vale, he's talking about Vale, Colorado. And Jimmy Rucker says Bill McCartney, Rick Neuheisel equals Coach Prime. Yep, that's the evolution right there.
Yep.
Oh
So
yeah,
you guys,
definitely.
thank you for joining us. Definitely, Q, if you've got a question for Dan, let us know. But I got one for you, DG. There's a lot of athletes right now, man, that are in that off-season phase. Whether they're high school kids, they're about to go to college and make the leap. Whether they're college kids and they're about to go to the combine and make the leap to the next level in the NFL. When you think back, man, to 2002 and you getting ready, you already been drafted, and now you got to get ready to go up against the Willie McGinnises at practice and some of these other cats. Is there anything different you would have changed about your off-season prep, or is there anything that you feel really helped you get off to a great start?
You know, for me, when it was off season, that's literally what it was for me.
Mm.
Off. You know,
Yeah.
I was off.
Yeah.
And now, at where we are today with football and stuff, it seems like, growing up, you guys remember growing up, we played a few sports. And so, like for me, I played basketball, baseball, and football. Nowadays, it just seems like, student athletes are doing one sport and trying to master that one sport. So they're really, there is no time right now for off season because, I want these student athletes to know the day that you don't feel like going in or not working out, there is somebody who is doing that.
Facts.
You got to stay on your grind. There's nothing wrong with taking a day or two off, but as far as like a month or two, you can't do that because
No
you're
more.
gonna get someone's gonna pass you up. There is somebody who's waking up that day that you don't feel like working out and going to get it in.
Facts.
Great point right there.
Facts.
Q, when you think back to your best off season, whether it was getting ready for Arena League, college, what was it about that off season that made it your best off season?
It was his focus. It was focus,
Mm,
man, and really, I mean, making fine tuning things. Even with getting ready for scouting day, any workouts, in regards to any teams, man, as far as the league as well, man. For myself, I'm a foodie, so I knew that when I finally figured out about the importance of nutrition, that made my performance like this upper level almost immediately. So it's always gonna be the little things. You hear your
okay.
coaches say that all the time. It's literally, the little things, but it really is that. It really is that.
Okay.
I promise you. I promise
Okay. So some of you guys are in the thick of it right now. You getting ready for those showcases. We got some athletes right now getting ready for combine. Elijah Cooks, I know you out there, baby. You're getting it from here, from guys who have done it, who have had the money on the line and had to get ready in the off season. So that is it for tonight's show, man. Dan, thank you for joining us, Cell Block.
you, my
We
man.
came in together, man, and
Oh
so
yeah.
proud of you, dude. And just keep living well, brother.
Hey man, I appreciate you guys having me on there, and I know the gray hair got me looking older, but yes, me and T Wood did come in together.
Yes,
We are the
indeed.
same age.
Yes,
Yeah,
indeed.
but
Yes, indeed, man.
hey,
That's
Nah,
I appreciate.
wisdom. That's wisdom, baby.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, man. But I appreciate you guys having me on, and I appreciate what you guys are doing just for those young student athletes out there, just bringing other people on there just to listen and get some perspective and some knowledge of what's going on out here.
no,
For
I
sure.
love it,
For
man.
sure.
And
Appreciate you,
like
big
I
dog.
said, man, take care of that family. I know I heard the babies in the background the other day, so keep
Oh
up the
yeah,
great work, man. And I'll get with you at some of those CU games.
oh yeah, definitely, man. Y'all take care.
All right, big dog.
All right.
Appreciate you.
All
All
right,
right.
all right.
All right, you guys. So there you have it. That is the great Dan Graham. Once again, amazing player. This somebody Q that a couple times had to go up against him in practice, and it was like buffaloes hitting dude, and you
Man.
feel it.
Yeah.
If Dan,
That's a
even if
big
you
boy.
got him, you gonna feel it, man, because
Yeah.
he's all of
That's a
every
big
bit of
boy.
about 250.
Yeah.
So
Big boy.
and Dan don't go about 4.5, man. I seen Dan run a 4.56 before.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
Dad could
so
go. Dad could go
yeah,
at man. He
man.
could get man. He was one of those in that era before you really saw these wide open offenses. Like when we were coming out of
Yeah,
college, offenses were just now starting to open up, and he was one of
yeah,
those tight ends that could get vertical on you in a hurry.
yeah, man.
So
And we won a Big 12 championship my senior year. We wouldn't have won that if we didn't get through Kansas State. And we wouldn't have got through Kansas State without him. Nebraska either, man. He kicked off the Nebraska deal.
yeah,
So
yeah, Dan with the work,
amazing
man.
career. He's made some money for himself and got a couple Super Bowls. So he's doing well.
Absolutely. One thing I wanted to leave, parents and coaches, anyone that's listening actually tonight,
Yeah,
and T, we talk about this all the time, is if you notice, Dan, and he actually just mentioned it, he played multiple sports. I
yeah,
promise you that will translate back into football and make you a better athlete.
yeah.
Okay. It doesn't have to be football 24/7 all day, every day. Baseball, basketball, it helps you develop different motor skills. Like, for example, myself, I was a punt and kickoff returner, but I was a left and center fielder. You're not
Yeah.
going to drop a punt if you can track a baseball. You
Good
see what
point.
I mean? So
Good point.
and Deion will tell you the same thing.
Good
It
point.
translates, with big guys like Dan,
Yeah.
or guys like Julius Peppers.
Yeah.
Even if you're a lineman or a tight end, you have better footwork because you were a hooper. So it translates. So parents, don't just have your kids where it's football,
Great point.
football, football. And plus, it gives them a break with, because football is a lot of wear and tear and not as much with other sports. But I promise it'll help them make them better. As far as on the field, it'll help them make them better athletes.
No, that's a great point right there. And then we've always talked about the soccer too. And we were just talking about off season, guys. Plenty of times in the off season in college, we would go to the gym, the little intramural gym up at the school,
Mm-hmm.
and we just hoop.
Hoop,
We weren't
yeah.
on the team, but we were hooping, and you could tell who was used to it. And Dan would be dunking and playing basketball, just an athlete. So that's a great point for you young athletes listening. A lot of you guys are specializing, but even if you're not on the team, the track team, baseball team, basketball team, go out there and play those sports still. Go out there and
Absolutely.
yeah, and
Yeah,
get
man. I mean, you got
after
to
it.
think of me. I mean, hell, Jim Brown played lacrosse.
Great point.
Lacrosse. So it's
Great
like,
point.
yeah, man. I mean, you can
Yep.
keep going all day, every day. Some of the greatest athletes that we've ever known, when you look back at their history, they all played multiple sports.
Other
From
sports.
Jim
Yep.
Thorpe all the way down the line, multiple sports. So parents, hey, if they want to play soccer, whatever the case may be, like I say all the time, Odell Beckham, Chad
Yep.
Ocho, those guys played soccer. But when you look at them
Yep.
running routes, their feet are unparalleled, because if you can
Smooth.
control your feet in soccer, which is all about your feet, how are your feet going to be compared to everybody else?
Great
So
point.
let them play
Yep.
different sports, man.
There you have it from the guru specifically. Y'all
For
get out
sure.
there, get that baseball bat, get that basketball, get
Yes,
them
sir.
soccer cleats on. All right, you guys. So, hey, hopefully you guys got a lot of value out of the Locker Room Show. We will be back next Thursday with another great football guest just for you. So, you guys have a good one. Who you got this weekend, Q?
Man, you know what? Like I
You
said,
got Eagles, Niners, Cincinnati Chiefs.
I love, like myself, I love people with swag. I'm going with Joe Burrow, man.
Okay.
Joe Burrow, man. The
He's the new
boy
Joe
has got,
Namath.
man, he is. That's exactly what I was about to
He's the
say.
new Joe
That's
Namath.
what, that's why T is my brother. He knows what I'm about to say every time. He is. You knew I was about to say that, right? Man, he's got all the swag. He makes the throws, and he takes control of the offense, man, and you can never count him out. I'm going with Joe Burrow.
Great Coach Fall says he's got 49ers and Bengals, and
I can go with that, Eric.
who
That's what I
Boomer's
can go with
always
that.
been picking for years and years on ESPN.
Yeah.
So
Right.
there you go, 49ers
Yeah.
and Bengals, you guys. So hey, you guys have an amazing weekend. Fridays tomorrow, in the week strong for you athletes out there. If it's the off season, get after it, because that's where you make your money. Q, anything for the good people before we get out of here?
You guys, hey, continue making your grades. Parents, continue
Yeah.
being supportive. And again, the off season is where you get your money, get paid. So hey, let's get to it.
Let's get to it. All right, y'all. We'll